don't believe that people give up because they lack discipline. I believe that sometimes people give up because they are trying to put the discipline over the commitment. And by that, I mean putting the how over the why. The why is the commitment. The how is the discipline. And I feel like when people do that, they find themselves overwhelmed, using outdated structures, or they feel stuck. Like they don't really know who it is that they are and what they have to offer. And when those three things come into place, I feel like those are the things that cause us to give up on our goals. So in this video, I am going to be talking about what I learned about myself when it comes to me being overwhelmed, using systems that are outdated, and then about myself as it relates to how I identify in the season. So just for the sake of this video, and because I know that overwhelmed and then feeling stuck can all like seem like the same thing, I'm going to define overwhelmed as like the state, the emotional state, the systems as the structure, and the self as the feeling stuck as like the identity piece. So, overwhelmed. What I am learning about myself when I feel overwhelmed, and how I'm learning I can move forward from the state of overwhelm, is that when I start feeling like that, I look at it as an invitation to see what areas that I may need to ask for help in, so that I don't get overwhelmed with what it is I'm trying to do and the goals that I am trying to achieve. And then I also use it as an invitation to take inventory of all the things that I have on my to-do list, to see like how I should prioritize things and what things can be cut down into small pieces, so that I don't get overwhelmed by the bigger goal, and so that I can achieve the bigger goal. So an example of that for me is me doing me exercising and showing up at the gym more consistently. I'm a part of this challenge called the Hourglass Challenge right now. It's a 6-week program. And in the first week, I found myself becoming overwhelmed because I was trying to do all the things. I was trying to do the exercises perfectly, and I was trying to eat all the right things. I was trying to make myself eat 5 times a day to gain the weight so that I can gain muscle. And what I realized is that the person who's running the program is a expert. She's a fitness coach. She's gonna be able to finish all of these exercises in an hour, versus me, where I was finding myself spending like 1 hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours in the gym that first week. And then I had to take a step back too with the nutrition part of it, because that was something that was going to cause me to quit as well, because I felt like, well, I'm not eating right. So what's the point of exercising? I'm not eating 5 times a day. So what's the point of exercising? But then I realized, no, this is something new for me. I got to build up to that. So I said, as long as I'm eating something, that's just going to have to be good enough. And then I'll work on the perfect diet as I go along. And then instead of making myself eat 5 times a day, I started out with 2. Now I'm up to 3. So I allow myself to stay focused on the why I want to do this. I want to be fit. I want to gain my 10 pounds and have them go all in the right places. But I can't achieve that goal if I get overwhelmed at the beginning, because I'm trying to do all of the things. So that was the one way of me minimizing my overwhelm, by just being realistic about where I'm at now and how I can move forward in reason with achieving my goal. And And so the second thing when it comes to the structures, the systems and the structure, I had a professional organizer come in to help me set systems so I can stay organized. Because in the past, and I like being organized. I'm like one of those people that it has to be organized a certain way, or I just get stuck in it and I can't finish it. I used to sit in my closet for hours in the past, trying to make sure all my pants were perfectly in this place, shirts perfectly in this place, dresses perfectly in a certain place. I had the system that I was using was the rainbow system. So I would have all my clothes in order or organized according to the colors of the rainbow. That was the system that I was using to keep my closet organized. But I just didn't, in this season, I just didn't feel like using my time doing it, because I have, this is an important thing for me, being organized, but I have other goals that I want to be more focused on in this season. So I had a professional organizer come in and put her system in place, show me her system so that I can utilize them, something that is not the rainbow thing. And she did it and it was like, it took 2 days, and that's another thing. I've been trying so hard to be a minimalist over the last 2 years, and I still have a ridiculous amount of stuff. It took the professional organizer 2 days to come in and work with the minimal amount of stuff that I have. And I'm just thinking about how I used to be so hard on myself. Back in the day when I was organizing this stuff alone, like it took me way longer than I needed to. And then, so it was a relief for me to see professionals coming in and doing it and seeing them take, 2 days to get it all fleshed out too. But anyway, that was just a little tangent. But anyway, so she showed me a new system, and I'm using this system. It's not the rainbow system, but it's still giving me the relief that I was looking for. And having my space organized with this new system is empowering me to go off and do the other goals that I want to do. Like, I'm in a season where I will pay for the peace versus trying to do it by myself and all alone, and then using systems that no longer work, using systems that take more time than I'm willing to spend right now on things. Cause I have to get it. I have to see the goals that I have for myself this year. I have to see them through. I have to see them through. And I'm not, the things that I can pay for professionals to do to free up my time to do that, I am going to be doing it in this season. So I'm realizing the systems that don't work, the old systems that I used to use that don't work, and implementing new ones, because the goals have got to be achieved. Then the last thing, the identity piece. There was a question that kept coming up for me as it relates to the goal that I have with my YouTube channel, the writing that I do, and me showing up more consistently on Instagram. Like, who is it that you are, and what do you have to offer? And I found that asking myself that question is what's helping me move forward and stand committed to the plan that I have for this year, the goals that I want to achieve for this year. And I found that in the past, because I didn't ask those questions of myself, I didn't think about the person who I would have to be or become to achieve the goals. That was part of the reason why I gave up. And I started off the year finishing up Atomic Habits, and it was really helpful in It's about building new habits, but he also talks about like who the person that you are, who do you need to be to achieve to be consistent with the habit. And I'm also reading the 12-week year. It also kind of touches on that, like who are you being? Who do you need to be? And then a lot of people give up on their plans, give up on their goals. They think the plan doesn't work, but the plan isn't working because we haven't fully worked the plan. And I believe that happens sometimes because we haven't defined for ourselves who it is that we need to be or become to do that. So, yeah. If you are still committed to your goals, I just want to say congratulations. Quitter's Day is the second Friday of January. So if you're still pushing through, dang, I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was going to say. But I would say good job on continuing to show up for yourself. And that if you are finding yourself wanting to give up, finding yourself hitting that roadblock that a lot of us hit after the newness of the first of the year starts to weigh off, maybe take a look at places where you're feeling overwhelmed. Take a look at systems that you're using that are outdated and no longer work because you've grown. And take a look at who it is that you are, or how are you defining yourself. And I feel like that will cause you to refocus on your commitment, your why. And then you can work on the discipline and the how as you go along. So yeah, that's all that I have. That's all I want to say. In case you're new here, my name is Latrice. Here's where I think out loud, reflect honestly, and name patterns that keep us stuck. If anything here resonated with you, feel free to take what you need and leave the rest. And I'll be back tomorrow.